That'll win 2 photon cannons coming up from opposite both sides by both of his bases by Guemchi, which means he's being very careful because he knows those Reavers are, and he really trying to make sure that he can defend against those. BeSt now apparently thinking of moving out. He has a sizable force, at least almost two control groups of Dragoons, has 7 or 8 gateways that he's pumping from, getting the weapons upgrades, putting down cannons, has those Reavers, and thinking of taking a third expansion. I must say this is very heavy economics, very interesting all this, because there's usually, by this stage in the game, because there already I think been at least 10 minutes, by this stage of the game already some battles should have been fought, but not really here, no real battles. BeSt is going to take this third gas here, just going to continue macroing up. I think at this point, just with the macro that BeSt has, Guemchi really needs to go and do some economic damage like right now, because with Dark Templar now out for BeSt, it's gonna go down. So BeSt did try to sneak around to Dark Templar, see if he be able to catch some Church Guide, but with those Dark Templar out, it's not gonna happen. Dark Templar, meanwhile, for Guemchi is gonna go out, gonna take out this probe, and gonna focus on this cannon. This cannon not gonna be able to spot. The cannon is gonna be cancelled. Now he's gonna go attack that Nexus there. So that's a cannon placement, very smart by both players to be able to make sure to prevent both Dark Templar attacks such as these, as well as other things. Due to those mined out minerals, Guemchi is going to be able to move out with his Dark Templar inside the base. We're going to see whether he manages. Runs by those Dragoons, no observer there. Okay, he's trapped, so he's just going to have to do some sort of damage before he dies. And he does nothing. On the opposite side, Guemchi now catching BeSt perhaps a little bit off guard, has quite a sizable force. He has High Templar alongside as well. He really needs to move out right now. He needs to focus fire on these Reavers. The Reavers are going to be able to do a lot of damage. I don't see any more forces. Finally, now the High Templar are moving up, so we're going to see some storms coming up soon. Storm going over the Reavers as well. The shovel. Nice storms overall. One Reaver goes down, but the second Reaver survives. The shuttle picking up just in time. More storms going off. BeSt losing some forces a lot here. Now reinforcing as well. Still keeping his Reaver alive, so that's what's forcing Guemchi back. Guemchi being forced back here by BeSt doing a wonderful job keeping his Reavers alive. I thought he would have lost, but he did not. Also, both players established their third bases, and now BeSt is going to be able to move out and pressure 3 High Templar, though, in position for Guemchi, and he has even more Dragoons moving him to support. We're going to see whether he manages to get some nice storms off. Interestingly enough, that High Templars, BeSt decides to morph his High Templars into Archon. Storm going off, catching the Reaver, the shuttle, and quite a few forces. Was even Guemchi hold his ramp. Still has even more High Templar. Another storm going off. Decent storm catching quite a few Dragoons. BeSt doing a pretty decent maneuvering job, but now moving forward with his Zealots to try to pressure the Dragoons even more. High Templar now moving him. We're going to see even more storms. We're going to see whether Archons actually managed to do enough splash damage. BeSt doing a very good job of pushing Guemchi back with those Zealots as well as those Archons. Guemchi apparently just doesn't have the storms yet, being pushed back into his natural. Doesn't have a lot of Dragoons. A storm going off, but not really catching anything but the Archon. A little bit of Observer goes off there in the air. Now Guemchi going to be pushed back with those Dragoons. And BeSt, meanwhile, has reinforcement coming in. Those speed upgraded Zealots going to be able to reinforce really quickly on the opposite side. Guemchi is putting down cannons on his bases at the 7 o'clock position because he's very much danger. On the opposite side, BeSt getting a lot of High Templar that apparently he's thinking of morphing into Archons. That's apparently, I think that was actually smart by BeSt. I think he didn't get the Storm upgrade because he was teching so fast because he already had Reaver tech and he really had to spare a little bit of gas. But now apparently thinking of moving in again, taking out a Zealot, but now just going to hold the ramp, put on the pressure. No, he is actually not going to morph these High Templar into Archons. If he has Storm ready, and he'll definitely have some Storm, at least one Storm, maybe even 2 Storms for each of those Archons. If he manages that, be able to do a lot of damage. Guemchi here doing some mistake. Has idle probes, not mining any gas. Apparently clicked the assimilator just before it was complete, and that makes it so that no gas mining. Guemchi probably thinking, where's all my gas? Where's all my gas? And now BeSt is going to move towards this base. Guemchi's going to try to catch him from behind, but BeSt with Storms catching a lot of Dragoons. BeSt with his Storms catching some forces, not the best of Storms. On the upside, as soon as he finished off the Storm, instantly morphing into Archons, using there as a part of a block of sorts, but BeSt is pressuring Guemchi a lot now. Guemchi going to lose a lot of forces. He has some Templar down there. We're going to see whether he managed to do anything with that, but overall, the Storm's coming out from Guemchi, but I think BeSt actually will be able to take out this base because Guemchi has not been allowed into there. Yes, that base is in jeopardy. It is indeed going to go down. So third base of Guemchi's has been lost, and BeSt has done a wonderful job still storming these Dragoons, doing a pretty good storm there, but overall, I think he's in far too much trouble. I think Guemchi, when he went into that battle into BeSt's base, I think he went in a little bit early. His reinforcements came in too late. Those High Templar were not in position in time, and that is, I think, what lost him the game because he was pressured back, and from then on, just BeSt, look at this, has weapons won on, both players have weapons won, I believe, but BeSt with so many Zealots is producing nothing but speed zeals at this point because he knows that's enough for him to finish this off. He's going to be able to reinforce with those Zealots very, very, very quickly. He has such a sizable force, and with those observers there, Dark Templar, I'm not going to be able to help Guemchi out. Guemchi now going to be forced back into his base, trying to micro his Dragoons as well as he can, and wow, BeSt doing a wonderful job just of pressuring with these speed zeals. Dark Templar are now on the field for Guemchi, but it's not going to help him out. Really, more Archons being produced by BeSt, and he's adding a 4th base, expanding like crazy, while Guemchi's still at 1 base only. Oh, one pylon actually going to get taken out by that one single Zealots. Just random Zealots running around by BeSt trying to take out pylons, and yeah, is going to be on 4th bases now against Guemchi's 2nd. Guemchi going to try to reestablish, but I don't think he really has the forces overall or the economy to really fight off against BeSt, because BeSt can afford pretty much anything. You're going to see whether he tries to put out even a 5th base, a mineral only here, which I believe that's mineral only. If he does that, BeSt is just going to be able insane. This is BeSt's macro at its best. He has so many forces on the ground, has weapons 2 ready, while Guemchi still has the weapons 1, and now I think BeSt simply going to be able to roll over. There's one single Dark Temple there running around, but with those cannons placed, he didn't manage to catch the probe line. One storm going off on quite a few of those Zealots. That's pretty decent, but overall the Zealots will be able to run back, absorbing that sword pretty decently. Guemchi trying to hold his ramp, but I don't think it's going to be possible. BeSt now getting his Orm storms off, storming all of those Zealots just to make sure they're not going to be able to pressure back. And now BeSt is going to go in for the killing blow here, I believe. I'm not sure Guemchi's going to be able to hold this. He doesn't have enough Zealots at all. He has nothing but Dragoons to support. Nothing but Dragoons. No forces on the ground to support. To give that one Zealot that is going to die very soon. He's lost all of his High Templar. He's lost his Archons, he's lost his High Templar. BeSt's going to reinforce. Guemchi is going to be able to take out this force here. He also has a few Zealots reinforced, but BeSt is going to be able to just completely smack Guemchi down here, because Guemchi has no reinforcements coming in. Has nothing but these 5 Dragoons, as well as those 2 Zealots and a Dark Templar, but with Observers in the air, that's not going to be much at all. Dark Templar now gone down. BeSt has the Archon, which goes down, but he has High Templar alongside those Dragoons, but we're going to see whether that High Templar does indeed get sniped. So Guemchi holding his ground for a little bit, but honestly I think his defeat is inevitable, because BeSt is just going to be able to reinforce so much. He has 10 gateways, I believe, at this point, producing forces. Going to have 4 bases mining at this point, while Guemchi's just barely trying to reestablish his 3rd, which he lost. And I still think that one battle at his natural that Guemchi lost due to bad timing, honestly, had his reinforcement coming in far too late. In losing that battle, he lost the game. Not managing to take out the Reavers, letting the Reavers take way too many Scarabs, letting them let loose way too many Scarabs before they got taken down. Only one Reaver got taken down in that attack, and after BeSt took out this expansion at this location here, 7 o'clock, the Guemchi's fate was sealed. BeSt even still has some download going on at his main, in fact, almost mining out, but overall, just so much macro going for him. He has Dragoons, a lot of High Templar, has plenty of force to produce. Now, honestly, I think he can just produce an army and just roll over Guemchi. He doesn't really have to think much at all. Guemchi going out there, get a scan, easily get killed by those cannons. At this point, Guemchi has to do some economic damage, not just army damage. Guemchi has to do, as soon as he lost that battle there, he had to do, or even before that, I felt that the players had to do some economic damage, but because the way that they played without doing any sort of economic damage, it all came down to the battle. And because Guemchi lost the battle, and here's going to be another battle he's going to lose, going to get stormed all over, not going to have a lot of forces around, so many storms coming in from BeSt. Guemchi losing all of his forces, nothing but a Archon, a couple of Zealots, and 3 Dragoons left alive, and now BeSt is going to come in right into that natural, going to kill it. Meanwhile, expanding in the middle, so he's going to take that middle with 2 mineral patches and 2 gases, and reinforce still yet, and BeSt is just going to be able to roll over. Guemchi not managing to hold the high ground. He's going to be in a lot of trouble now. BeSt has a lot of Dragoons, tons of Archons moving in, going to have High Templar. As soon as that storm goes off, he's going to be so much trouble, because Guemchi just can't focus fire on that single High Templar. Okay, High Templar does go down, but it loses so many Dragoons. Now finally, BeSt is inside of the natural of Guemchi's, and now Guemchi gonna see whether he manages to push this back or not, but I think BeSt is gonna have reinforcement coming in, so he'll have some High Templar, Archons, and Zealots as well, gonna be able to block for those Dragoons. I think at this point Guemchi doesn't have enough. His resupply route is very short at this point. He does have 1 High Templar, he needs to let off a storm to help him out against this, but no, BeSt is gonna move in with his own High Templar, And now Guemchi's going to lose all those forces. Lost his Templar, trying to morph in Archons. Storm's going off by BeSt now, and I think it's going to be a GG at this point. BeSt still reinforcing, having speed zeals as well as High Templar. Wow, a lot of High Templar moving in. And just Guemchi, despite being this close, getting a decent storm off there, getting a lot of forces, not going to have enough, just not going to be able to do any sort of damage. GG finally from Guemchi. He would have been able to hold for a while longer, but he knows he was lost. So, first game going to SKT1. Wonderful game played there by BeSt, showing why he's such a good PvP player. Now a total of 23 wins in the Pro League, so we're going to see whether SKT1 manages to ride this off. Good game by both players, but just one single battle that decided it, and after that, just when it's a macro game, you don't compete against BeSt. You simply do not. So, GG guys, thanks for watching. Ranchin' out.